this so that we can put it on the YouTube channel and people can go look at it if they want to. So basically, let's see, is it Jada Bennett?
Yes. Jada Bennett. She's with my department. She's going to be helping with the switching.
Is she new? Has she done interviews? Has she done Zoom before?
Jada's done Zoom, but she didn't do the interviews with us last year.
Okay. Well, the reason I asked is I didn't recognize her name, and I try to let like new people have the first round. You know, somebody who hasn't done it before, just to kind of give the, you know, be sure they have time if she wants to. If she's not going to try it, is she just going to be helping you then?
I'm going to have different people helping me on my interview days. Yes,
Yeah.
But Jada will be helping. Yes.
Okay.
With the switching.
Okay. Well, if she wants to do the, you know, take over, she can, or if she doesn't, you know, whatever, she doesn't have to then. So just a reminder that, number one, everybody probably knows that co-hosts are able to pretty much do everything a host does. They can put people into breakout rooms. I'm going to just make everyone here a co-host. And
but you would already have to have the rooms already made.
you do not anymore, because if you click, and as soon as I just made you a co-host, now you can see the breakout room squares at the bottom.
Okay.
And when you click on that, now I'm not sure, you'll have to tell me if the co-host can actually create a breakout room or if you have to be a host to do it.
Well, it says add a room.
Yeah, so then yes. So now you can add rooms on the fly during the meeting. You don't have to do it all ahead of time, which is a really big improvement.
Yeah.
If they only would have made the messages larger, that would have been, it would be almost perfect.
Yeah.
The messages are still tiny in that little blue box.
Yeah.
All right. So Karen, well, let's see. Amy's been with us in one before, right, Amy? Didn't you do one already? Okay. So we'll save you for last in case we have time, since you've already had a chance.
Can I ask Stephanie, let me ask you a question. So you can set people up, because you just did that we're co-hosts while we're live, but you can do it ahead of time, like when you're setting it up, because there's a little thing that says co-host, and you can do that.
Yeah, if you have their email that you're sure they're going to log in with, because that's the caveat about any kind of ahead of time stuff, is they have to use that same account to log in with. I recommend always to my faculty and to anybody else that they use their institutional Zoom account instead of their personal Zoom account.
They also have to.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Because I was thinking that definitely we should have like our program director as the co-host. That would be a smart thing.
If he knows what to do as a co-host, otherwise it really doesn't matter. I mean, I could make Dr. Moya co-host and he wouldn't even know like what that meant, what he could do. And
yeah, but he could at least log in. I mean, like if I were to drop off and die, right, he could at least log in. He would log, you know, he could take over. It depends
on how you set it up. If you're the host, if you make him a co-host, then he'll be able to like kick people out or whatever if he needs to, but he needs to know what to do. I mean, the reality is if you're concerned you won't be there, I would definitely go over what he needs to do, you know, just because I wouldn't make any assumptions about the faculty and what they know, you know, about Zoom other than just logging in.
No, I understand. He would be my backup, and he usually is anyway. So yeah,
Yeah. So who wants to go first then? Karen or Lynn or Jenny? Whoever wants to go first.
Jenny can go first. She was first signed on.
Okay.
She's it.
Okay.
I had already set up some breakout rooms ahead of time. You know, you remember you can rename them if you want to. You do want to set your options before you start using the breakout rooms. So if you see like, you know, for Lynn, you're going to want to be sure you allow participants to choose a room so that they can pick the room they want to go to. I don't use that. I don't want anybody picking where they go. So, but I do allow the participants to return to the main session at any time, because that way, if their interview ends early for some reason, and there's not, you know, 10 minutes of awkward silence with a faculty member, they could come to the main room. But other than that, of course, I don't know whether all of you know, but last year for us, I never had them come back to the main room. They went into a candidate lounge, and we didn't ever close our rooms in between interview sessions.
No.
So, and I personally think that's the cleanest way to do it. And just remember, when you're doing your interviews, you just want to make it as easy and simple as you can. And anytime you are moving everybody back into the main room, and then you got to move them back into another room, it's just more complicated. It's more complicated, not for them, for you. And, you know, depending on what's going on that day, you know, you could be completely freaked out. And I'll tell you, when we had our open house, our virtual open house, I had a little snafu with the breakout rooms because I was trying to move people between rooms, and one of our residents showed up late. And I said, oh, okay, I'll put you in a room in just a minute, but it kind of disrupted my flow. And I forgot who I had moved where.
Yeah.
Even though I was only moving my residents, but I still didn't remember who I had moved where. And it was a little bit of a snafu. And then I hit the close all rooms. And they all had to come back into the main room. But the other thing I had forgotten is that they do stay assigned to the first room you assign them to. So I was able to, as soon as everyone moved back into the main room, I was able to open the rooms again and send them all back. But don't ever hit that close rooms unless you mean it, because there's no undo. And I just hit it, and then I went, oh, shit, I didn't mean to do that.
There's no back button, right?
There's no
oops.
undo.
Oops.
There's no undo. There's nothing to go, oh, no, I didn't mean to. It's like sending the email, you know, and then going, oh,
It's
crap.
gone. Yeah.
It's gone. Nothing I can do about it.
Can I ask you a question? Because I'm a little confused. When I see the pop-up for the options, there is the allow participants to choose from. I've never done that before. So like my scenario of what I was saying, even though they chose what they wanted, I manually put them in the rooms.
Oh, okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah. So then you wouldn't need to check it if you're going to do it. This way you could actually.
How would they know what room though? How does that happen? Because I'm not
You'd
sure.
have it moved. You would have them marked, like you wouldn't call them breakout room 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
You'd call it PGY 1 and 2.
Okay.
You know, you could give them names so that they would know which room they were going into.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that was really an option, because I've never done that before.
Yeah.
So it would be on up on the screen where they could click it and go where they wanted to go.
They should be able to. Yes, I've never done it, but that's something we can try here. You know?
Okay, very good. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe when it's your turn, we'll try that.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So you're telling me Zoom is smart enough to know to move them to a different room and not the same room that they've been in?
No, Zoom doesn't do this. No, Zoom doesn't do it. They do it. Just like Lynn is letting them select the room they go into.
Right.
They're just going to select the room, and Zoom is going to know the breakout rooms you have.
Right.
So you're going to have named them whatever.
Right.
And then if they want to go into the PGY1 room, or or say they want to go into the chief room, and then they're going to leave after. Then, you know, they could choose the chief room and you could never see them again.
Right.
You know.
Do you think that after they choose it, then the next time they choose, it would be another room, or would they still have the same option to go back in that room?
Well, they'll have the option to go into any room that's there.
Okay.
It's what I believe. But we haven't ever tried it. So that's, like I say,
All
I
right,
think the
okay.
good thing would be to try it out and see what
All right,
happens.
thank you. Okay,
Mhm.
thanks.
Okay, so I have the countdown timer just set for 10 seconds because we're going to be closing and opening rooms. So that way it won't be. So, but obviously, if you are going to be closing breakout rooms, you may want it more than 10 seconds.
Mhm.
Oh, sure.
Go ahead, Jenny.
All right, so so we have a countdown, the timer set as well. Did you preset all this? Because I can see it. I can see this as allowing participants to return to the main room at any time.
Yeah, that's what my Zoom like automatic
Preset.
thing is. Yeah.
Right. So I've never actually let anybody choose a room. That
Yeah,
would be chaos.
Yeah, right. Well,
So I'm
but
gonna.
this is for my open house, Jenny. It's not for
Oh,
interviews.
okay.
You understand? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So that's the
Yeah,
difference.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
I would have to, we can talk about that in a second. All right, so, all righty then.
So I just put that timer that I used last year, the link to it in the chat box.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty good timer. It's free and it's got a lot of options if anybody wants to use it. I recommend it because it worked pretty well for me.
All right. I don't see your name to select you.
Won't be able to select me because I'm the host.
Oh, all right.
You can't put the host in a room. You can only put co-hosts. And actually, I believe they even get an option to not go. But at your interviews, you're not going to have, all your people are not going to be co-hosts. We're just doing that for this.
Mhm.
And you'll be the host typically. So it won't.
All right. And then I've got room 1 and room 2. And so I'm just going to open them now.
Then I can just go like into a room, if whatever. We did have people try out the little thing to get help.
Mm-hmm.
And it's literally a help button just so that they can see how that works. I'll go in there and tell them about the help. Let's see. I'm going to go into Lynn.
You want to do a broadcast message to all?
Can. Mm-hmm.
What would you like me to say?
Whatever you want. Your message.
You wanted to mention the help button?
Well,
Hello? Hello?
okay, so they can't ask for help because they were co-hosts. So, and I can't change them back until they get back in here. So,
right. So let's see here. You had the timer on, correct, already?
I don't have a timer on. I don't use the Zoom timer.
Okay. I'm going to close all the rooms. All right.
I came back.
Okay. There you go. I did check that box to allow you to come back to if you wanted to. Yeah. There you go.
I couldn't unmake you a co-host until you got back in the room. So I'm gonna do that for the next thing. I'm just gonna do it, and then Jenny can send you back into the rooms just so that you can see where the help button is, because it helps to know where it is when you have to explain it to anybody, like your faculty or whatever.
Hey, Jenny, we didn't get a note that you were popping us back in.
Oh.
You didn't send us a message. I
It's,
didn't see one.
Because I said, and then it says countdown closing after a breakout room. It says 60 seconds.
No, but you didn't send a message to us.
No.
Yeah, last year we did a broadcast message, the rooms will close in however many minutes or whatever. Just, and that's everybody's, your mileage may vary kind of thing. Just a kind of recap of what we did last year was that we opened the rooms, we had a 12-minute interview. At 2 minutes, I broadcast a message. Interviews will end in 2 minutes. At 30 seconds, I broadcast another message. That was per my chair's request, that interviews will end in 30 seconds. Then I would move them into the candidate lounge. And so that they wouldn't get like the room's closing now, because I didn't close the room. And then I would give them another message. They would be spending, 5 minutes in the lounge. At the 3-minute mark, I would send them a 2-minute warning, another 30-second, just the same thing. Interviews will resume in 2 minutes. And then I would put them in their next station for interviews. And that was the process we repeated through all the stations. And so we never actually closed the rooms out like we're doing here, just because, we have to close the rooms here. And the other thing is, if you do close the rooms, then when people come back, you've got to like click on the little number beside their name to uncheck them from the room, being assigned to the room. Otherwise, they're going to stay assigned to that room until.
Right.
And now I can see that I did that, but you all can't. And the reason you can't, I don't know why, but if I click open all rooms, then you should be able to see who is unassigned to a room.
It's like a green button. It's like a green dot if you're in that room.
It is? Okay.
It's a green dot.
But like right now, if you look at the breakout room screen, you should see the names of everybody in the meeting, and that they're all unassigned. But to get that, like if you have a co-host, for your co-host to see what you've done, you've got to hit the close all rooms again. Because right now that doesn't matter. I can close the rooms 15 times because there's nobody in them. So I just click that close rooms after I unassign everyone. And that kind of resets it for everybody, for the co-host.
Right. Okay.
So anyway,
I'm wondering if the version of Zoom that each person may have is playing a role in what we can and cannot see.
well,
Yeah, you need to get the update.
You need to be sure you have the most recently updated version. And usually when you log in, it will tell you there's a new version and you need to update it. And you definitely want to be using the most recent version so that you have all the options. Because let's say you haven't updated your Zoom since last, October. Well, there have been a lot of changes to Zoom since October. So you don't want to be using an old version. So definitely, make sure that you've done that. And it's
I think they updated recently, didn't they? They updated something recently because I did the update.
They have, yeah. And it's most important just for the people who are going to be the host or the co-hosts. I mean, your faculty, not a big deal for them. So, because they aren't going to be moving people around and doing different things. They're not going to be messing with the breakout rooms. All they need is to be able to get into the meeting and go into their room and stay there like little girls and boys.
And they don't move at all. We
Right.
just, yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
They don't need to eject themselves back into the main room. They can just
No,
stay there.
right.
Yeah, that was something we had a little trouble with last time. We wanted that we just had to have it get across that we weren't going to be moving the candidates, but not them. They're going
Right.
to stay where they are, and the candidates are going to come into the room.
Come to them, just like they would in real life, right? They
Right.
wouldn't get up and leave their office and go into someone else's office and in-person interviews. So
Right.
why would they do it on Zoom? I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. And the candidates are much more Zoom savvy than the faculty, I say, even after a year and a half or whatever. Okay, so the only thing I'm gonna do, just so you can see it, I'm gonna assign everybody to breakout room 1.
You're frozen.
That's weird.
I sent myself to the breakout room instead of you guys. I was gonna just send you all to the breakout room so that you could,
Join.
right. So I gotta do that. I'm gonna send you all, just so you can see the ask for help button mainly. Except Jenny, well, let me undo you. Hang on. Let me.
Same model numbers that one over there looks like it is.
Mm-mm.
It's different than, no, not the one we have, the one that's in the conference room.
They don't have, there's not a copier in the conference
Yes,
room.
there is.
No.
It looks like yours.
It's outside the conference room. It's not in the conference room.
It's in the common area.
Oh,
of the
okay.
conference
Maybe, I have
room
no
conference.
idea.
Do you have any extra or one waiting to be used? Because I need to order one because their waste toner box wants to be replaced, which you rarely ever do.
I don't
But
think
when you don't have it to replace it, when it yells for it, it stops printing. It just flat out stops printing. It doesn't even
Yeah.
care.
I don't think there
So
is.
you
You can look in those
your
drawers there.
supply.
I'm in a meeting, so I
Okay,
can't.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. It's all right. It's like a Zoom meeting thing that we're just getting ready for interviews.
Are these your cartridges? Because if so, yours is totally different. than theirs.
Well, then I have a different machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
Okay. Well. But if you do have one, but if you ever use it, you'll need to replace it. But we're getting new machines in December.
Right.
With November now, it's December.
Right. Yeah. All right. So now let me unassign everyone. And let me see, Amy, you are still a co-host. That's why you couldn't see it. So who wants to go next? I'm just going to make the one that wants to go next the co-host. That way nobody else has any special permissions.
I can go next.
Karen? Okay.
No one's volunteering.
All right. All right. So then you can assign everyone but me to a room. And, you can move people, you can do whatever you want to do. You can pretend it's like your little interview day and what you're going to do, how you're going to do it. Feel free to do that. The more you click around and practice, the better you're going to feel about interview day.
Unassigned, it shows Lynn as unassigned. So I'll put you in 1. I'll put Jenny into 1. Jada will go to 2. Amy will go to 2. So Stephanie, you're in the main room along with myself.
Yeah, you can't assign
I
me,
can't,
and you
no?
can't assign the host.
No.
The thing is,
okay.
you're going to be the host anyway,
Right.
so it won't matter. That will be irrelevant.
So I'm gonna broadcast message.
Right, yeah, broadcast, like whatever, just so
Thank
that
you.
they can see what they're going to see. And then they jumped right into the room when you assign them. That would be because, I don't know why, because I thought I had hit the close all rooms. I know I did. So I don't really know why they jumped right back into the room. Did you change any of the options?
No.
Okay.
So what is it that was different?
Well, I think what was different is that didn't you just pop in, Amy, when she put you there?
I assigned everybody.
I know, but usually when you assign from the main room, you have to open the rooms.
Maybe they were already open.
I
That's
didn't
what
have
I'm
to click.
saying.
I didn't have to click anything. I just
I
went.
just
I didn't have
went.
to do anything.
Didn't you? Yeah. So I think that's because,
The rooms didn't get closed.
right. I thought they were, because I thought that I reset it because you could see who was unassigned. So I don't know what happened, but again, that's probably not something that's going to happen on your interview day. So it's really not anything to worry about, although it's good to kind of understand how everything's working.
All right, so
Right.
how do I go into room 1? How do I put myself
Assign
into room 1?
yourself. I believe you can just assign yourself to room 1.
Well, I think there's like a little thing. It's in blue that says join on the very side, the right side of the rooms. So if you're the host or co-host, you can just click on join and you'll go into
Right.
that room.
Yeah, I'm not, no. Not seeing that.
I am no longer a co-host. So I don't have the rooms.
Right. So you can't.
I thought I read that we were supposed to return to this room, right?
You
Yeah,
did. That's what
I
you
had
did.
sent
okay.
a thing.
So let's do this. Let's, Karen, let's see.
Yeah, so there is no cruise control.
Yeah. So
Right.
Stephanie, the question that Jenny asked when we were in the breakout room is, the bottom line is, you still have to, whether you do automatic or manually put people in a room and out of a room, you still have to assign them. And then you can set it up that they can pop back out timing automatically, or you can manually move them, which means you really got to wait for them to get out of the room, correct? Those are the only two ways. You still have to put them in the rooms.
When you open the rooms, that's when they go in to the rooms initially. Okay. So you click and assign, and let's say they all get to interviews and you're having like an overview talk at the beginning, right?
Right.
So during that talk, you click everybody's name, where they're supposed to go for their first interview, and your faculty to the room they're going into. Then when it's time to start the interviews, then you say, we're going to begin interviews now, and click open all rooms. And when you do that, that's when they go in. And then, again, you can let them come out if you want to allow that, but, maybe highly suggest that they don't, except, in a, unusual circumstance, just that you will move them to the resident lounge if, or candidate lounge, if you have one of those, or however you're going to do it. But you, so when they're in a room,
Mhm.
you have to move them up at, like by pushing the little, of course, the rooms are not, they're closed now, so you can't see it. But you move, you have the option to move them. And so you click on their name up in the breakout room screen, and you have an option to move them. Let me just do this. Let
Can
me,
you share your screen, Stephanie?
you can't, well, I don't know if that'll work.
So, I mean, if you're,
I don't know if you can see, let's see. Okay, can you see can you see the breakout rooms?
It-
it has the timer thing on it.
Right.
No, but there's a little box with the breakout rooms. You can't see that.
Uh-uh.
I don't think you can share
I
the Zoom
can-
screen like you can,
Right.
like another screen, because that's the screen I
Right.
shared, is the Zoom screen. And it's
So then
not,
the question, Stephanie, the question is this, is you have to be present to move them into a room,
Yeah.
whether you close them out automatically or you do it manually. That
There
was the
is no
question, because I
cruise
think,
control.
right, so Jenny's people were trying to say that they thought there was just a way that people could just go in and out of their rooms like they, you don't need a controller like us. That was the question.
I believe if you select that option in the options,
Oh.
that they can choose their own room. Oh, and also someone had changed the options to automatically move all assigned participants into breakout rooms. So that's why that happened the last time. I don't know who did it. I don't know who checked the box, but that's why everybody went. So these options are important.
Yes.
Because let's say you're at the meeting at the beginning of your interview day and your program director is talking to everyone and you're trying to assign people while he's talking or she.
Oh,
If you have that box checked, then they're going to all start moving into rooms in the
That's
middle
funny.
of the talk. Okay.
that's
But you
horrible.
aren't going to probably want to check that box ever, I wouldn't think. Okay, because that's going to automatically just bump the people
Start
into the
yanking
room as
people.
soon as you assign them. So you're not going to want to use that. And so really to me, the only one you're going to want to use for sure is if you want to allow participants to come back into the main room. And if, like Lynn, say you decide you're going to just let them move themselves wherever they want to move themselves, then you could allow participants to choose a room. And that's the one I was saying, let's go ahead and try that this time and see what happens. I just changed it to say, let everybody choose a room. Karen, I'm going to remove your co-host just so that we can see what happens. If you guys can choose a room. I don't know if I have to open the rooms first. I need to unassign people though. Because I don't know how that works. I've never used it. I have no idea.
I have a
If I
quick
say-
question.
Okay.
So since I returned to the room, I left my room. I don't have that 4 square at the bottom, so I could go back to that room that I was assigned to.
I don't know.
Well, that's because I've unassigned everyone.
Oh,
Okay.
well, it was like that the whole time after I returned here.
I just
I
now,
checked the
I
toolbar.
just now unassigned the rooms though. Just now, like, just immediately, like, that's why you can't see it now.
Oh,
Because
but what I'm saying is I checked it when I came back to the room and I didn't have those 4 squares.
wouldn't probably have the 4, do you have the 4 squares now?
No,
Anybody?
No.
no.
That's because you're not a co-host. Only when you're a co-host are you going to see the breakout room squares. Because what that does is allow you to open that breakout room window.
But
And-
I thought last year we were able to, so like if you left your room that you were assigned to and came back into the main room, if you needed to go back to that room, you were able to just click on those 4 squares and go back to your assigned room. Because I had some applicants that, it was like 2 that came into the main room, or somehow they got kicked out of their room.
Uh-huh.
And then I had to like tell them, you should have the 4 squares on your toolbar. Look for that, click on that so you can rejoin your assigned room. But I
Oh,
don't see that now.
It may
um,
be an option that on your setting.
let's just, no, it's not an option there. But it could be, let's just go ahead and I'm gonna assign people to rooms.
I think that it's in your setup, yet you're able to rejoin at any time. That's like in the setup of your whole Zoom meeting, I think.
Right.
You let people.
Oh, you think it is?
Yeah.
Here, let me look. Hang
I
on.
think that's what it is.
And I'll check if it'll let me. And I'll let me
You
open
can
that
see
while
the
I'm in a Zoom.
invitation. There's a thing that you can check that you'll allow people to join at any time. I do know that because I use that for my conferences. I have the same account every time and I have that checked so that people can come and go.
Okay, well, that again, that's not something I've ever used. And so that would be why it wouldn't show up. But you said it was already showing up earlier today. Is that what you said? Was it showing up earlier, Amy?
Well, I was a co-host earlier, so I don't know if that's
Right,
co-host
right,
you.
right. Okay. All right, right now, nobody is a co-host. So what I'm gonna do is just assign people to rooms, and we have the thing where you can choose a room though. So I didn't assign everybody, I only signed a couple of people. And I'm gonna open the rooms and we're gonna see if you can pick a room, if you have to go to the room I assigned you to, or if you have a choice to go somewhere else, okay?
Okay.
So. Do you see an option, Amy?
Yeah, but so I can either join or not now, or I can join any other room if I click on the 4 squares. If I
Right.
click on the 4 squares, I can join any room. Am I still a co-host or no?
No, you're
Okay.
not. Nobody, but I'm a host. Nobody else is a co-host right now.
So
Yeah, so it is giving me the option to join any room that I want.
Okay.
So I saw join a room and clicked on the 4 squares, but I'm not getting into a room or I'm not seeing anything join that particular room.
Well, it says you're not joined. So all you have to do is click on the squares,
Yeah,
click on the room you want to join. And it should ask you if you want to join it.
no. At least I'm not seeing that.
Well, we'll have to ask one of the others when they come back. Amy just moved herself.
It says
into-
Jada is not joined. No,
Yeah, and it says you're not joined. But you should be able to put yourself in a room. I just can't tell you how to do it because I'm the host and I don't know. You're clicking the 4 squares.
I see how it is. You have to go, well, you have to sort of hover over the number that are in that room and it
Uh-huh.
will say join. So now it's that you want to go to room 1.
All right, let's close the rooms.
So I learned that you have to hover over the number in order to click the join.
Is that how it worked for you, Amy?
Oh, no, I don't see it.
If
No,
you're wanting
so
to decide which room you're going to go to. If you're making the choice, the way I was able to do it is each room would tell you how many are already in that room. And you would hover over that number and you would get a thing that will light up and say join. That's what I get. Now, again, may all be by what version of Epic
You may have an older, have you upgraded your, updated your Zoom?
This computer that I'm using is very old. But I mean, I am using the hospital system, so.
And have you gotten a message when you've logged in telling you there's a newer version?
I honestly can't tell you.
Okay, well, you want to check into that. Yeah. Well, pay attention from, because I think you should be able to get the newer version. But as Amy said, this is probably not something that we want our candidates to be doing anyway.
Right.
Probably would be okay for a situation where you have multiple rooms and people can come and go into any room they want to whenever. But interview day is structured within a set amount of time.
Right.
So the main thing you want to remember about breakout rooms is the option box is not going to show up once the breakout rooms are open. You cannot change those options. So you've got to set them the way you want them before you open the breakout rooms. So, for example, right now, I'm going to uncheck the allow participants to choose a room. I don't want them to be able to do that. And I could uncheck, allow them to return to the main session at any time. If for some reason there was something else going to be going on in the main session and I just didn't want them there, then I could uncheck that. But anything you want to change, the countdown timer, Jenny had changed it to 60 seconds. I didn't want it to be 60 seconds for this meeting because I didn't want everybody to have to sit and wait a minute while everybody came back into the room. So even that countdown timer, everything in that options you want to change before you open those breakout rooms. Because once they're open, you don't see that anymore. You won't be able to change it. So, Lynn,
Yes.
you want to take
All I can say is it's too bad that these things that really affect everything, that there wouldn't be like a little, are you sure you want to do it? So you think for another minute before you go, oh yeah, you know what I mean? That would be nice.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
All right. So you should be able to see that nobody is assigned to any room. So
I don't have the
like,
option yet of the breakout rooms.
oh, I got to make you a co-host. Sorry. Got it. Little minor detail. Okay.
So I haven't gotten it yet.
You haven't?
Mhm.
Hey, co-host. All right. Sorry. I must have clicked
Okay,
too
I just
fast.
got it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to take Jenny and Karen, you are going to go in the same room. So, ooh, hold on. All right, there you go.
Thank you.
I see that. That's weird. That was weird what just happened to me.
What just happened?
Assign it. Weird. I select. Okay. I selected 2 people to go in the room, one room, but then it just flipped the other 2 people and did it. That's weird. I don't know.
Well, do you want to undo it and start over?
No, I'm just gonna. I don't know what I did. I really don't. I put 3 people in the other. Oh my God. I don't understand what I just did. I swear that is the weirdest thing ever. I think what I did was I clicked before I hit open the breakout rooms. I was clicking their names and then for some reason, I think it automatically popped them in or something. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does, except it shouldn't have because I unchecked that box. Did you recheck any option boxes?
That's my fault. That's fine.
Um,
I'm gonna broadcast them to come back and I'll do it again. I obviously did.
Well, or you can just close the rooms.
Okay. I feel bad. Yeah, I need to do that again. Oh my God. Oh God. Ah, I need some help. Close all rooms. Do I want to close all? What did I do? Oh my God. I do not know what just happened. I do
Okay.
not know what I just did. I clearly do not.
Doing this so that you do this
How
now.
did you end up in a breakout room?
Because
Yeah.
Amy called for help and so I
Oh.
joined. When the help is called for, it's going to call the host only. It's not going to call the co-host.
Oh my God, I was totally out of control. This
I'm
is the
mixing you guys up.
scenario. The worst case scenario ever. I am like, you just don't even know. Oh my God. I can't even go there. Oh my God. Ugh.
All right, so
I will do it
Why don't
again. I apologize.
undo what you've done, and to undo what you've done, you're going to click on that little number by the names, and you're going to uncheck those boxes so that they're not assigned to any room.
Could you?
Okay, so on your breakout room screen,
Yes.
and you see how there's a little blue number?
Yes.
Click the number, and then a box pops up.
Yeah. And
3
uncheck
blue
them.
checks, uncheck it.
Okay.
That's
All
how
right.
you unassign people.
All right. I've never done that before.
The same thing in breakout room 2.
I got it.
Unassign. And then once they're all unassigned, go ahead and say, close all rooms. That will reset it for any host, co-hosts that you have or anything like that. So they can see the right thing. Because right now I can't.
I don't have that option to close it.
You don't have an option?
I can recreate.
No, you don't want to do
Add
that.
or open all rooms.
Oh, well, you can open the rooms because no one's assigned, right? If nobody's assigned, then that's all you want is to get a reset.
Gotcha.
So that if you have someone helping you, they'll see what you're seeing.
Okay. All right. I'm going to do it right this time. I'm sorry, ladies. Okay. So breakout room, I'm going to have Amy and Jada in the same room. So
I'm going to check your options here. Yeah.
That's weird.
I don't know why, but it flashed and then went away.
Oh my God. I don't understand what just happened.
No, that was me. That was me because I wanted to check the options and be sure that box wasn't checked to automatically move assigned participants.
I know. I looked already. Okay.
Okay.
So, again. All right. Here we go, ladies. One more time. Okay.
All right.
So Amy, I'm going to have you in breakout room 1. Yes. And
Lynn put herself in breakout room 1.
No, she's gone.
She's gone. Lynn.
Stephanie, you have to go in and tell her.
Lynn,
how did that happen?
put yourself in breakout room 1.
I clicked Amy. This is weird.
I don't know.
Click Amy and then assign.
I did. That's exactly what I did. I think I'm being punked here, but so hold on. It's not funny.
I know. No, it's not.
You
I'm
got the
sorry.
Zoom punk.
Wait a minute. Don't do anything yet. Okay. I want to be sure it's all kind of reset. All right. Hang on.
God, I swear, I just want to crawl under a rock.
All right. Everything should be reset. Right now, you should see only the blue breakout rooms not started. The option box is down there, the option hyperlink, the open all rooms, all that stuff, right?
Okay.
That's what you see. Now you can assign people.
All right, let's hope so. Amy, assign you to room 1. Jada, I'm going to assign you to breakout room 1. Jenny, you are going to breakout room 2, and Karen, you are going to 2.
open rooms before you started assigning?
I hit that first.
No,
Yes.
you don't hit that first. Because that's why they're going straight into the room. You want to assign everyone and then open the rooms.
I don't know what I did. To be honest.
Okay, so
Okay.
let's go ahead and close the rooms.
And let me
Okay.
make sure I did that right, because I mean, I don't even know.
So I noticed they started popping in, and
Yeah,
and that's because you open the rooms first. You want to assign first
okay.
and then open the rooms after
Because-
everyone is assigned. Because that would be
Yeah.
that would be the scenario where your program director is talking and
Yes.
all of the people start disappearing. Right?
It did not happen to me, but it just happened here. So I'm like
Yeah.
freaking out.
Well, good for it to happen here, right?
Oh my
That's
God.
where you
Okay.
want it to happen, not in your other meetings or whatever.
Oh my God. Why do they have it like that? That is just crazy. Hey, we're learning what not to do, right?
That's right. That's part of it. Definitely a part of it. So we did discover what happened. Lynn opened the rooms and then started assigning people. Want to assign everyone in the meeting first and then open the rooms. Okay, so don't open the rooms until everyone in your main room is assigned. If
That's not
you,
how we did it last year.
no, it is how we did it. Yeah, that is not new. You assign first. So again, here's the scenario. Your program director is talking to everybody. Thank you for coming. We're so glad you're here. And during that time, you're going to be assigning everybody to their room, to their interview room. And as soon as the program director is finished talking in the main room, then you open the rooms. If you open the rooms before you assign people, then they're just going to go as you assign. They're going to go into the rooms as you assign them.
Not funny. That's horrible.
So you don't open the rooms until you're ready, right?
Okay.
To open, you're ready to start interviews. And everyone wants to start at the same time because you want to give everybody the same amount of time in
Right.
their interview. So if you open the rooms before you assign people, then they're going to go right in. So here's another scenario. Say you've assigned everybody at the beginning of the meeting and they have gone into their rooms because you opened the rooms, but then somebody gets there late. Let's say you have a resident room, right? Where they're going to go talk to the residents in between interviews. If you assign that resident, you've already opened the rooms. If you assign that resident that comes in late to a room, that resident will pop right into that room right then.
Oh, that's nice.
So once the rooms are open, if you assign someone to a room, they will go right into that
But
room.
how can you add somebody if they're not in the meeting to begin with, though? How do you do that?
Because they're going to show up when they're going to show up as unassigned in your breakout room screen. And then you'll click the
You'll type
little,
your name in, is what you're saying. You put your name in there and then you can put them in once they arrive to the meeting. That's what you're saying?
right. So if they
Okay.
arrive to the meeting and say they're just have their phone number there even, right? In your breakout room screen, it's going to show an unassigned person. And then you just put them where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, all right, so then do you recommend,
Amy, you raised your hand.
oh,
Do you have a
Yes.
question?
I was waiting. So what we did last year was we had everyone in the main room and I gave them instructions and just kind of like an outline of what to expect throughout the day. And then I already had the rooms open. But after I was done with my spiel, I assigned them to our lounge room. I
Okay.
automatically moved them to our lounge room for our PD to start his welcoming.
Okay.
He was there as well.
So you can of course do that, but you can also, while, if you're giving a talk, then obviously it's hard for you to talk and assign people. So that would be why you would have done that. But just remember though, if you're like me and you are not going to have your people go to your room to the in, there's not a separate room for our PD to give his talk. He's giving it in the main room. So I don't want anybody to go into their room until he's finished talking. So then I can be assigning everyone. You know, there's going to be like, 14, 16, 18 people. I can be assigning all those people to the right rooms while he's talking. And then I open the rooms and everybody moves at once instead of waiting for me to check their box to move into a room.
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, however you want to do it is of course fine. But to me, it was, again, simpler just to let everybody, because there wasn't anybody you didn't want to hear what the PD was going to say. So it was easier for me to just, do that assigning while he's talking and then open the rooms and they move. And the other thing you do want to remember, this can kill you. If you are moving someone from one room to another, right? You're going to move them between breakout rooms. Remember that Zoom has a little hitch. When you tell it to move and where you want to move it to, there'll be a little bump. And if you're moving too quickly,
I know.
you actually put the wrong person in the wrong room.
Yes, that has happened. Yes.
So the main thing is just to kind of slow down just a tiny bit and let that little hitch happen before you keep moving people. And of course, mostly when that's going to happen is when you're like, if you have like we did a resident lounge or candidate lounge, and I had 7 people in there and I'm trying to move them and I'm doing it too quickly, then I can put the wrong person in the wrong room.
Yep.
And that did happen to me, of course, with Dr. Sue, because, it couldn't have been with Dr. Moy. It had to be with Dr. Sue. But I just quickly moved them. I realized it and I just pulled them right back out and, put them where they were supposed to be. But do remember that, because that is a little kind of a glitch that there is. So are you good now, Lynn? You feel like you've done, or you want to do some more?
No, I have to do it one more time. So I'm going to go to what I see on my screen is breakout rooms and there's numbers. I'm going to click those numbers off, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So click them off.
To unassign everybody.
Okay. All right. One more time. If I get this right, it'll be a miracle. Okay. All right, Jenny, I'm going to have you go in breakout room 1. And Karen, you will be in 1, 2. And then breakout room 2, I got Amy, and I don't have did Jada leave? I guess she left. I'm sorry,
She
Amy.
did. Yeah.
You're gonna
She's not
leave the room by yourself, Amy, but not for long, I'm sure. All right.
That's what you want.
Yes, I know. Well, this is a good refresher because just
It is. You forget. It's a year. It's a long year. It's not a little short year. This was a very long year.
Actually, we did fellow interviews earlier this year, and I don't know. I didn't have that many. I had 1 or 2, so it was very minimal or whatever.
Yeah,
but
a lot easier.
One thing that I did do though is when our interview day came, I actually felt more comfortable taking my faculty and putting them in their room and their residence so that they were there ready. And I'll let my program director kind of talk or whatever. So I don't know. I just felt more comfortable just going ahead and moving them in their rooms. So they were ready.
The thing is though, until you open the rooms, you can't do that. And then what that's going to put on you is to be sure that you, at that very end moment, that you're putting everybody in the right room.
I know. So maybe I'll just tell them to take the video off and just sit there and wait. I'll do them all at the same time.
Right. I think, again, my attitude is just to keep it simple as you can for yourself.
Right.
So that, if something happens and there's some little, there's a, your office floor was flooded when you got in there or something, or, the bathroom's not working and you had to run down and now you're running late, or, whatever it is, if something like that happens, it's good for you to have less to try to remember and try to stay like,
Right.
on top of. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, this was a good refresher.
Okay, so Amy, are you good? Do you want to try again? I'm gonna have a shot.
I'll try again.
Okay, hang on, let me unhost Lynn. And
So Jenny, there's all kinds of them. Like
Oh,
even
after
to-
the 30th?
Yeah, like into November.
Okay. All right.
I think. Well, anyway.
Yes, come in.
All
wait a
right.
minute, those are
Hey,
Maybe not.
hey, Amy, Zach Tully is here. Yep, we're having a meeting to go over how we do our Zoom interviews.
Hi,
So there
Zach.
she is. He can't, here, here he is.
How's it going?
Hello. Hello from afar, from Iowa.
He's doing a rotation with us.
Oh, that's cool.
No, it's all right. Hang on one second, ladies. Go ahead, Amy, you're co-host. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah. Jenny, I'm seeing like
Yeah,
virtual meet and
It
greet.
should be
in
that,
October.
did I show you that room before? No, I didn't.
Okay, I'm
I'll be
gonna-
right back. I'll be right back.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's all right.
Should I ask sooner? And-
Going out into the space. It's weird how she walked away and then she disappeared. Isn't that weird? It's like she went into cyberspace or something.
Right, I'm gonna start moving folks.
Folks, we don't have many of us. Try not to put me in a room by myself like I did you. I didn't mean to do that. I thought Jada was around, but then I didn't see her. There was gonna be another person I was gonna put you with.
Room 3 just disappeared.
It did.
And I thought I put Jenny there. But
Okay.
Yeah. Jenny, I moved you to room 3 and you're not there.
I'm not there.
You're still here.
I'm here,
Oh, hold on.
but I'm not there. I'd like to be here.
Wait, hold on.
Maybe I should be
need to
there.
I need to open the room.
Sound like the cat in the hat.
Right, I'm back. Sorry.
I'm going
I
to
told
room
him, he
one.
said, oh, well, that's cool. Y'all coordinate. I said, yes, and we know each other, so keep that in mind.
Oh.
Okay.
I think I bugged Amy too much.
You bugged me?
Bugged you.
No, no such thing.
Yeah, no, he's great. I really like him.
Good.
I think a lot of our faculty like him a lot too.
Oh. Hold on. Wait, what? Oh. Wait, why can I not move her? Hold on a second. I think. Oh, there she is. Okay. I'm gonna send a message.
Okay.
don't know if they went through.
Yeah, I just don't understand why they couldn't have made that bigger. It's just horrible.
Oh, maybe it did go through.
It did go through. I see it.
Okay.
So on this particular time, I got a box that said to please join, and all the other times when we've done this, it did not give me that.
Was it your initial one? Like when you first had to join a room? Yeah.
Yes.
After that, it's like,
Yes.
I'm just moving people.
Anytime someone goes from the main room into a breakout room, they get the option to say not now. But luckily, it doesn't happen between breakout rooms. It only happens from the main room into the breakout room.
I hadn't gotten that note through any of the, all the stuff we've been practicing. This was the first time I got that message.
You think it could have been the first time you saw that message?
No, because I had to click it. I didn't have
You
to click it.
wait? Did you not join right away?
No, it just moved me. I got moved, but this time I got a box.
I don't know.
Not at all today.
Because Amy, it was happening all the time for you guys, wasn't it? Asking you if you wanted to say not now. I mean, we did that.
Only
Oh,
with the
no.
first room,
Only the first one.
on the first move.
Right. Into the first time from the main room. But the rest of the day, it hasn't happened.
I only got it
Say
that
not
one time that
now?
Amy just
No.
did it.
Because
No.
she just got it just now. Have you gotten it, Amy, today?
No,
With the join room or not join.
Yeah.
I think I only got that the first time
See,
today.
that's weird, right? Because Lynn said she just now got it after
Yeah.
all these movings that have been
Mhm.
happening. So I'm not sure why that would be. Let me try this. Let me try. Let me see. I'm going to close all the rooms. I'm going to unassign everybody. I'm just going to try sending you into rooms. Okay. So let me just do this and let's just see if you get that option to
Okay.
leave or not.
You mean to join?
Yeah, to join the breakout room,
Yeah, I-
to leave the main room. Yes. See if you get it. When I open the rooms, if you get the option or not.
Mhm. Yes.
I am
Yes.
leaving, I'm joining.
Yes.
So you
I
did
have it.
get it. And so you can say not now, and then you won't move.
right. So I hit not now,
If you hit not now, then you'll stay here.
right.
And then I think you would stay here indefinitely until you chose to join.
But see, I have a thing down on the bottom. It says join breakout room. So it
Right.
says you've been
But if you
assigned to
don't
breakout.
join, if you don't, you would just
Right.
stay here
Or stay
forever.
here. But now I could go to room 1 if I wanted to.
Right, yes. Yes. Okay,
It's like a party room in there, Steph.
I bet,
Stephanie.
yeah. I know. I'm not there to crack the whip on you guys.
I don't
Oh,
like partying.
So you all got that. So I think the only difference could have just been the fact that maybe you were still assigned to a room.
Okay.
And if you are assigned to a room, I don't think you get it except the first time.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
But I went and just cleaned the slate, unassigned everyone, started from scratch, and you all got that message.
Okay.
So that must be how it works.
Okay.
All right. Anybody else, anything?
No.
Well, I learned that there's a lot I still need to learn.
But
As
Don't we
always.
all? I
As
think that
always.
applies to everyone.
But getting back into it again and trying to remember where everything is behind the scenes is like, I'm gonna go have to try and find all of my papers I printed out from all of the sessions I did last year, especially like with Chris Jaconi and all of that. So,
Well, and you are welcome. As I told Amy, you can come to any of these. I have the same Zoom meeting ID for all of them. So I have one on next Monday at 1:30, and I had one on the 15th at 10. So you can come to those if you want to, because sometimes just hearing what
Right.
people are talking about doing is helpful.
yes,
So,
it is.
and that's why I'm putting them on the YouTube account. So you can go and watch them. And of
Mhm.
course you can fast forward through, if you don't want to watch whatever.
I think
But
that
you can-
I've taken some little notes, and it would be nice if we had those as little things, like little checklist of you do this, you do that, like do that, to do it on the fly, you do this or that. I
That's a
mean,
great idea, Lynn. If you got time to make a checklist, you just go for it, hon. It's yours.
got it right here. Can
It's
you
your job.
Can you
I
see?
Perfect.
vote. Let's all vote. I vote for Lynn to create a checklist.
Yes.
I mean, and we can add to it. I mean, it'd be like
Right.
one little,
Yeah.
one thing.
Put it
Well,
on
you
the
could
Google
start a
Drive.
spreadsheet like we did for the interns coming in. You know how we started like an orientation spreadsheet? We could
Mhm.
start a spreadsheet in the group and people could put things that they think are important on it. And then somebody could go and pull out what applies to them and leave what doesn't apply to them.
Right, it'd be a good
Good idea.
refresher to have it and say, okay, these are the things I need to remember.
Yeah, sure. No, it's a good idea.
Okay.
All right, well,
All right. Thank you.
Hey, has an industrious medical student made the list yet of all the schools that are going to be interviewing this year? So we can fill in our dates.
well, we have, I mean, I don't know if there's one
SAU.
there, but
There was on
we
the.
have our
what was it?
calendar and I think there's quite a few dates on it already.
Okay,
Our
I
shared
think-
calendar.
I think the
Okay.
SAU also has it posted on their
Right.
site.
You do.
Yeah.
yeah. It's just.
I
that
mean, we
can-
made our dates and I don't, Dr. Moy doesn't care who's having them on our dates. We picked our dates and they're done. And
Okay,
so honestly, whoever is interviewing, okay.
are y'all having AM, PM so you can switch up East Coast, West Coast?
We're having an all-day event, 2 different days. And so what we'll do is
Okay.
offer options for, later times for any West Coast people that we invite.
So you have 2
Um,
interview days, all day.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, because we have sections, we have sessions, and the sessions are like not even 2 hours. So our people who come for an interview, they're only here for like 2 hours. And then
Right.
the next group comes. And we just have as
Interesting.
many as we have interview stations. So last year we had 7 interview stations, each 12 minutes with a 5-minute break in between, and really no other break because it was only 2 hours. And then we would start that. So we would have 7 people interviewing in that. So 7 people would show up at 8 o'clock in the morning. And then by, I don't know, 10 or 10:30, whatever it was, they were done. And then the next 7 people would show up, and I use the same Zoom meeting, because that way the faculty could just stay in their room all day long. And when they got up to go get coffee or whatever, they didn't have to worry about logging into the next meeting. When they went to lunch, they had an hour for lunch. When they went to lunch, they just stayed logged into the meeting. And then in the afternoon, we had 2 more sessions with 7 in each one.
Right.
So we did a total of 28 interviews in one day. But the people who had an afternoon session didn't have to be there in the morning. And if they had the second session of the day, they didn't have to be there till like 3 o'clock or whatever
Mhm.
time it started.
that sounds extremely elaborate.
Did
Mhm.
you?
Oh,
did
no,
anyone-
it was not. It was very easy, way easier than anything we've ever done. It was very easy. It was not elaborate. I mean, it was just literally assigning, the first 7 people that we're going to do a morning thing to that. Now, I actually did go a little further. I emailed them and offered to let them tell me their first and second choice. And I said, I'll try to accommodate. So if somebody wanted an 8 o'clock interview because maybe they got offered an interview in the afternoon at another program, then they would have plenty of time to be finished and get ready for their next one or whatever. But
Because
you don't,
I looked at where they were from, and I separated them into my AM and my East Coast, West Coasters, and there was only, and I used, Texas over, got West Coast, and Texas to Atlanta got East Coast. And I had a couple that were, I had just I did a couple spares that I had to put on the West Coast, but they were East Coasters, so it didn't matter, and it was just like a later time frame in the after. It was just an after starting at 1 versus starting at 8. But yeah,
see, that's all I'm saying is,
find them.
if your people, if there was a way, see, we didn't have anything except interviews on our interview day, nothing except interviews.
Right.
So there was no reason to make people be there an extra 2 hours. Just because
We had, okay.
we just let them be there for their interview time. So they basically went through their section of interviews, their 7 stations, and then they were done with us. And they really did like that. They did not, I know some programs kind of tried to recreate their in-person interview day and, have a lot of time for them to talk to the residents. And if they haven't had a chance to talk to the residents, then that's good. But we have a thing the night before where they can talk to the residents, and we don't make
Right.
our residents come to our virtual interview day. So we just have our faculty who are interviewing and the candidates. And we're not having any talk or anything like that. So there would just be no reason to make them be there for, 4 hours if really they're only interviewing 2 hours. We just split it up that way so that they just, less of their time was taken. That's all.
I see.
But-
Okay.
But
And how
anyway,
many interviewers versus candidates did you have per day?
we had 7 interviewers, stations, where we had probably more than that because we had some people who we double up.
Right.
But stations, breakout rooms, we had 7 breakout rooms. So we would do 7 people interviewing at the same time with those 7 breakout rooms. And so however long that lasted, which was like, I don't remember, an hour and a half or 2 hours, something like that. Those 7 people would be done. And then our faculty would get a short break, like, I don't know what it was, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever, after 2 hours. And then we'd start the next group of 7 with 7 stations. So basically each person would have a place to go and they would just rotate through those 7 until they were all done. And that way, like I say, that we didn't have a bunch of people that were trying to entertain. Because I would say the thing that was weakest with our in-person interview days was trying to keep everyone entertained when they're not interviewing. And in fact, our last in-person interview day, we actually offered them an option to not come in until a little bit later in the morning if their interview didn't start first thing. Because we were like, why do they need to be here at 7 o'clock in the morning for a bagel if they don't want to? And they might get breakfast at their hotel. So maybe they'd rather sleep a little later and come in at 10 o'clock or whatever. And so we had done that because, again, we just want them to have a good experience. And sometimes if they feel like they spend a lot of downtime being bored, then that spreadsheet does not look good. They put a lot of like, it was torture because there was so much waiting time and downtime. So the way we're doing it with virtual is there's no waiting time. They're in interviews constantly. That's all they're doing. And then when they're done, they're gone. It's over. And in fact, some of they email me before and go, so that's all? I don't need to be there any longer? Nope, that's it. Just this period of time from this date, this time to this time, 8 to 10 or whatever it was. Wow. Okay, great. It's like, ooh. So,
Explain what your night before is then, because I like the concept, because we had so many rooms with residents, but during the day, the residents are still kind of busy, so they're popping kind of in and out, even though they're a group. And I
Right.
can see, and it would be like one applicant with all the residents in that one room, but it can be kind of like weird because it's during the day and if they're busy
Sure.
doing stuff. So the night before, explain.
so what we did last year, which a few people said they wanted to kill themselves because it took 2.5 hours. We decided we won't be doing anything that long again.
Right.
We had about an hour that Dr. Moy and the faculty kind of introduced themselves and whatever. And I think we're going to cut that way back,
Mhm.
if not almost out. We have a lot of stuff on our website now, a lot of videos there and
Right.
things that they can watch when they want to.
Right.
And but last year, this is what we did. So we had that. And then we had basically like a virtual open house with the residents by PGY year. And I moved them between the different groups of residents so they could talk, but there were a lot fewer, even though it was everybody it was 28 people,
Uh-huh.
but we divided them between 4 rooms.
Right.
And so they each got to see them by year. Now, what we did in our virtual open house this time, we had a few more rooms. We only had like a senior and a junior resident in each room.
Mhm.
And we could have fewer people because we didn't have to have 3, 3, 3, 3. We could have 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, or whatever.
Right.
So, because I feel like if there's fewer people in the room, they'll feel like they have more of a chance to ask their
Right.
questions.
Right. Right.
So that's what we did, and that's what we're going to do. I've like had the residents, block off those Friday nights before our Friday evenings for our.
Calling it happy hour, or what are you calling it? And what are you doing? Anything like just, there's nothing like.
No activities or anything. No, I think we're just calling it like Friday night before interviews. I mean, nothing catchy or anything.
One of the residents that, one of my interns, actually, he volunteered. He said it would have been fun to have game night. He said the best interview things he went to prior to the interview day were like, 3 truths and a lie or game night or whatever. And so Dr. Maida said, you're it. you can organize game night. So he bought this Q deck or whatever it is, and he's got the games and everything. It's going to be like an hour and a half, but he said it's constantly moving. So they're going to play games.
I think that's a great way to, like an icebreaker, to meet people, whatever. And it's something different. It's a twist on the, meeting people.
I'd say, I would say the only problem I see with that is that a lot of times those candidates want to ask your residents questions. So I would say like an hour and a half of that sounds to me like too long. Like 30 minutes of game and then maybe an hour where they can have time to ask, because they really want to know what the residents think. That's really all they care about is, and you do want them to see some interaction between the residents. So I think a game is a good idea, but I think an hour and a half of a game, because they're not going to want to spend longer than that. They're not going to then want to spend a whole nother hour in breakout rooms. No. I do think you really, for us, especially, we just feel like they really want to talk to our residents. We want to give them a chance to do that with no faculty present, without me there, just them and the residents. So, like I say, the game's a great idea, but I definitely would say for us, an hour and a half of it would be way too much. Because we don't want anybody killing themselves this year.
Okay, bye, Karen.
I need to leave. Thank you very much for organizing. Good luck, ladies.
All right, bye-bye. Okay, I probably got to go too, unless everybody, yeah, my phone keeps ringing and I'm not answering it, so.
All right.
Did you want to tell me, did you want to stay on and tell me something?
Yeah. Yes. Can Jenny and I stay on for a hot minute?
Good to see y'all. I'm gonna.
You can.
You just gonna stop recording?
I need to stop the recording.